All right, here we are, ready to begin the game between Nashua South Panthers, who are 5-2 in Division I, and the Bedford Bulldogs, who are 1-7 and trying to get on a winning track here and get back into the fight to make the playoffs and make a run in the playoffs. Bedford's coming out with the starting lineup that they had the last 3 or 4 games since they've gotten everybody back from being hurt. And South looks a little shorter than Bedford, but let's see what happens as we start the game off. Bedford, in their last game, suffered a tough loss at Memorial, lost in overtime again by less than 4 points. So 6 of their 7 losses have been by less than 4 points or less. The only one that was by more was the loss at Trinity. South has a couple of good ball players in Trevor Knight, number 3, and Yordi Tavares, number 14. That's Yordi with the ball right there, top of the key. Dribbles over. Looks like Bedford's in a 2-3 zone. And there's a steal. Bedford brings it down. Cam misses his first shot of the game. Rebound by Nashua South. A little fast break. Missed the layup. Eric Brown gets the rebound, and the ball is off of South, and it's Bedford's ball under a basket. Taylor Grande's inbounding it to Cam Meserve. Over to Jake Capistran, back to, short shot by Taylor. Back to Brown. Brown puts it up and in. Bedford takes the early lead, 2-0, with almost 1 minute gone in the first quarter. Nashua South moving the ball out in the perimeter, looking to try to go inside a little bit. Back out to the perimeter. Shot by Yordi. Misses. Brown gets the rebound. Looking deep, but can't find anybody. Brings it up himself. Over to Taylor. Taylor Grande over for the layup. To Sam Stanton. Bedford's now up 4-0 with almost 2 minutes gone in the first quarter. Yordi Tavares has the ball top of the key for Nashua, trying to drive. Gets fouled by Cam Meserve. Bedford's 2-3 zone's pretty active and keeping the ball out of the middle, which is the problem they had at Memorial, as Memorial was driving through the middle against their zone. Taylor Grande with almost a steal. Nashua gets it back, throws it underneath, but it's stolen by Sam Stanton. Taylor Grande leading the break. He's in the middle. Over to Cam Meserve for the 3, and it's good. Bedford leads 7-0, and Nashua South take a quick timeout. Once again, Bedford comes out strong, the same way they came out in the only winner they had in the year against Alvern. I think they were up 12-0 in that one in the beginning of the first quarter before they gave up any points. So they're looking good again here on the home court of the Bulldogs. In the prelim, the JV game was won by the Bedford Bulldogs by about 5 points. I don't remember the exact final score, but it was about 5 points they won by. They've been playing very well lately too. I think they've won 5 or 6 in a row. Nashua South inbounds the ball and brings it up. Yordi Tavares has it. Out of bounds to Nashua South. As I said earlier, Panthers are 5-2 and in the upper half of the pack in Division I basketball this year. Tavares over to Cameron Joyle, misses. Cam Meserve with the rebound, over to Taylor Grande, who's bringing it up against Tavares. Gets around him, brings it in, shoots it up, misses, and Tavares gets the rebound. And South brings it up. That's Trevor Knight, the quarterback from the football team, that lost it on his pass into number 10, who was Cam Joyle. Bedford trying to inbounds against a, looks like a zone, man-to-man press, and Nashua South steals the ball on that press. Bedford's had a little trouble against the presses in the last couple of games. And Tavares hits a three-pointer for the first basket for Nashua South. Bedford's trying to run. Cam takes a shot, three-pointer from the side, misses. And here comes Nashua South back. Back up to Tavares. He's dribbling at the top. Over to the wing to number 21, Vincent Ortolano. Back over to Yordi. Just kind of holding it up top. Not much motion. Oh, they try to go down low, and they get a layup by number 33, Michael Osgood. So Nashua South quickly gets back in the game. It's 7-5. Brown up in, drops in for him on the break. 9-5 with almost 4 minutes gone in the first quarter. Nashua's coming back. Shots off. But Sam grabs it, and here goes the run again, and here comes Missouri for a layup. Oh, no call. Followed up by Taylor Grande for the layup. And Bedford Bulldogs go up 11-5. Yordi once again top, throws it inside. Back out, over to Yordi again for a three. It looks a little strong. And Sam grabs the rebound over to Brown. Brown dribbles up. Over to Cam in the wing. Back to Taylor up top. And over to Jake. Jake Capistrine with the ball over to Cam Missouri. He's looking for the shot. Throws it inside to Brown. Brown backing his man in. Goes to the point. Kind of a line drive and misses. Here comes Nashua back up the other side. Ooh, and it's an offensive. Taylor Grande takes the offensive, which he's done many a time this year for the Bulldogs. In for Bedford for Sam is George Mokus, number 50. Jay Capistrand takes it out. To George Mokus, to Taylor, and here goes the break. Taylor's in the middle. Takes it himself. Up and misses. Off of Bedford, and it's Nashua South Panthers ball going back the other way. Looked like Taylor got fouled, but there was no call on the play. Yordi with the ball up top again. Same old record. They're playing a little bit to the middle now, trying to attack a little bit. Bedford's still in that 2-3 zone. Over to number 21. Shoots it, but Bedford doesn't get the rebound. It's on the floor. Taylor's on the ground. Jump ball, and the ball goes to the Bulldogs. Once again, great hustle by Taylor Grande. Get that ball. In for Bedford is number 15, Tommy O'Rourke, who comes in for Ryan Brown. Bedford takes it out. They clear it out for Taylor Grande to bring it up against the press. It's man-to-man press. Little token more pressure from Jake. Loses the ball, and Nashua grabs it, and they bring it down the other way. A little less than 3 minutes to go, and Bedford has a 6-point lead. South Panthers are working it out on the outskirts. Have it in the corner, take a three. No good, but they get the rebound. It's to Yordi in the middle. Nice pass underneath, but again, the miss. And Jake Capistrand has the ball, dribbling it down. A little bit of a press over to Tommy O'Rourke, over to Taylor Grande, to Cam Missouri on the wing. Back to Taylor Grande, over to Jake Capistrand, wide open. Misses, rebound, grabbed by South. And they come back down the other end. Yordi Tavares going down the middle. Gets a shot off. Cam Missouri grabs the rebound, and over to Taylor Grande. Over to Tommy O'Rourke, to Cam Missouri, who makes the bucket down the middle. Bedford now has a 13-5 lead in the first quarter with exactly 2 minutes left to go. Again, South working the perimeter, trying to find something either down deep or in the middle. They moved actually Tavares to the middle, and he takes a shot, and he makes it from basically the free throw line, 15-footer. Makes it 13-7. Taylor Grande trying to break the press, gets it over to Tommy O'Rourke, gets it over to George Mokus to the middle, to Jake Capistrand, but Jake gets it stolen from behind by South. And here they come back down the other way. In the middle. Shot is blocked, but it stays South ball. Wholesale changes. 3 people come in for South, and Ryan Brown's back in for Jay Capistrand for the Bedford Bulldogs. South takes it out from under the basket they're trying to score at. Throws the deep down to number 32, who is Malik Langa. Number 13 is Benjamin Siegel, who's dribbling up at the top. Over again, they're working the perimeter, trying to find a shot, but way too deep. Work in the middle now. They're back out to the perimeter and a three-pointer. That is no good, and the rebound is by Taylor Grande, who's bringing it down. A little over a minute to go. Ryan Brown drive in the middle, gets it off, banks it off from the top. Timeout for South, as it looks like somebody got injured. Number 3, Trevor Knight. Looks like he might be bleeding a little bit, and he's being replaced by number 4, Robert Smith. So Panthers are taking the ball out with 57.8 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Bulldogs lead 15-7. Again, working the perimeter into the middle. Back out, stolen by Taylor Grande. Throws it over to Jay Capistrand. To Ryan Brown. Tommy O'Rourke. Taylor Grande again working the perimeter to Ryan Brown, who gets fouled and almost makes it a three-pointer, but he'll go to the free throw line for 2 with 34.8 seconds to go. Pat McCarthy with the call, one of the 2 referees in the game. Coming in for Bedford will be Colby Gendron and Justin Hayes after the first free throw. Ryan Brown makes the first one. Bedford leads 16-7 with a little over 34 seconds to go in the first quarter. In a pretty competitive game so far. Ryan Brown misses the second, and South gets the rebound, and here they come. To the corner, to the point, three-pointer, banks it in from the top. That was Jesus Antonio for the shot. No, actually it was Xavier Williams. Bedford with 18 seconds. Jay Capistrand to Justin Hayes to Ryan Brown. He's working it, back to Jake. Nice pass in. And the bucket is made by Colby Gendron. So at the end of one quarter, the score is 18-10. The Bulldogs lead the Panthers. And this first quarter was sponsored by Normando Associates Inc. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a minute. All right, we're back for the second quarter. Nashua South is taking the ball in. They're trailing 18-10. Bring it into the middle, back out to the wing, just working the ball around the outside. Oh, across the other side, back to the corner. A shot, no good, air ball. Brown gets the rebound. And he's bringing it down himself. Over to Gendron for the layup. Last 2 buckets have been by Colby Gendron. The lead is 20-10. Oh, offensive foul is called against South Panthers after Cam had stolen the ball. Foul is on number 15. Maybe it was on Yordi Tavares. I'm not sure who the foul was on. Thought Pat McCarthy said it was on 15, but there is no 15 for South. Justin Hayes bringing it up against some token pressure. Gets it over to the 10-second line, over to Colby Gendron. Cam Meservey. To Ryan Brown. Ryan working on the top of the key. Oh, loses the handle. Oh, Tavares jumps on the ball and grabs it. And I think there's a foul being called on Ryan Brown. Foul after he lost the handle on the ball. And Tavares stole it from him. Substitution by Nashua South. Samuel is back in the middle for Bedford Bulldogs, who stay in there 2-3. And Taylor Grande is also back in. Tavares dribbling up top, over to number 34, Xavier Williams, who works it to the other side to number 21, Vincent Otorlo, number 14, over to number 33 for the layup from the wing. A little more pressure from the South Panthers. as Bedford tries to bring the ball down. Justin Hayes bringers over, gets it stolen by the Panthers. Here they go down the other end, stolen back. Ball's on the floor, and it's a scrum in the corner, and it's a jump ball. And the possession arrow goes to Bedford. So good hustle by both teams, but Bedford comes up with the ball. Inbound to Taylor Grande, who it looks like they'll clear out, and he'll try to dribble it over the 10-second line. Looks like it's more of a man zone press, but no, they stay in the zone, in the man press, and Taylor gets it over the 10-second line. Over to Sam. Sam over to Colby Gendron, over to Cam Meservey. Gets it down to Sam. Sam back over to Taylor Grande. Taylor puts it up off the back of the rim, and here comes South back down the other way. Yorty dribbling to the corner. Into the middle. Over Sam. No basket, but rebound is by Justin Hayes, who loses it, but Cam picks it up, and Taylor Grande will bring it over the 10-second line with an 8-point lead with 5:46 to go in the second quarter. Meservey in the corner, but he's dribbling it out. Taylor going down the lane, but he's now going into the corner. Back to Cam up top. Cam from way deep. Little off the front of the rim, and the rebound by Nashua. Going back the other way. Holds it up, brings it over to Yorty. Makes a move into the middle. Loses the handle, but grabs it back and gets it over to the top. They take a baseline jumper that's in and out, and the rebound goes to Bedford, and there's a foul on Nashua South Panthers. Number 14, who is Yorty Taveras, and I think that's his second foul. Yep, that's correct. George Mokas comes back in for Colby Gendron for Bedford. And Justin Hayes is out, and I think Ryan Brown's the one that came in for him. Taylor Grande bringing it up, throws a deep pass that is stolen by South. Yorty Taveras goes down the middle, over to the wing, backs up, takes it, but South is beating up Bedford on the boards, but South can't make the basket, accidentally goes over to number 34, gets a layup out of it. So Bedford's lead is now down to 6 with 4:48 left in the second quarter. Bedford breaks the press by passing it this time. Oh, but back to Taylor. To Mokas in the middle. Over to Ryan Brown in the wing for a three. Little strong, but Samuel gets the rebound over to Ryan Brown, over to Cam Meservey for the three. Looks like he got pushed, but no foul called, and the shot does not go in. And South comes back the other way again, trying to cut the 6-point lead in half, but it doesn't go. Cam Meservey gets the rebound, and Taylor Grande brings it down. Ooh, a little reach by Yorty, and that picks up his third foul, which probably means he'll be sitting for the rest of the quarter. Number 4 comes in. Robert Smith comes in for Yorty. It's a big foul for South, as Yorty is one of their best players, and he was helping them come back in this game from the 10-point lead that they had cut down to 6. Ryan Brown inbounds it to Cam Meservey. Gets out of the little trap, over to Taylor Grande. Back to Cam in the corner. It's picked by Mokas. Over to Grande, going around to the other side. Cam in the corner. Cam loses it. But he gets it back. It's Bedford Bulldogs ball. A little confusion in the corner there. Bedford taking it up for a tough spot in the corner. Taylor inbounds it, and Cam grabs it, but he steps out of bounds. Coach Fitzpatrick's looking for a foul, as he thought Meservey got pushed out, but he got no call. And I think Coach was right. Into the middle by South, over to the wing. Taylor putting some pressure on. South working the perimeter, trying to find a shot. Haven't gone into the middle. Again, working around the outside, going to the corner. The ball's out of bounds, and it's Bedford's ball. Tommy O'Rourke comes in for Bedford, and he'll be bringing the ball in. Taylor once again dribbling it against the press and breaking the press. Slows it up. Works off of a pick by Ryan Brown. Over to Tommy O'Rourke. Oh, there's a foul being called on Nashua. That is Nashua's 6th foul, so the next one, Bedford will be in the one-on-one. Bedford takes it out from underneath the basket. Gets it into Cam in the corner. Cam dribbles in, gets the ball stolen. Looked like there was a foul there again, but Taylor Grande steals it back. And with 3 minutes to go, Bedford holds on to their 6-point lead. Hasn't been much scoring in this quarter. Actually, hasn't been much scoring in the last couple of minutes. Cam tries to go baseline, loses it, picks it up, puts it up, makes it. Finally breaks the scoring drought by Bedford. 22-14, 8-point lead. South back down quickly, works it into the middle. Shot over Sam, bounces around, misses, but once again, South gets the rebound and puts it up for a layup and cuts the lead back to the 6. Tommy O'Rourke over to Sam, down to Cam in the corner, puts up a 3, misses. South in for the rebound. Bedford trying to steal it, does. Cam gets the layup on the steal. Nice play by Bedford, good pressure by Ryan Brown. Get that steal. Nashua working the ball top of the key, kind of picked up his dribble and is stuck there. Working the perimeter. Bedford doesn't have their hands up in the zone, so they work into the middle. There's the shot, deep shot, misses, but once again, Nashua with the rebound. It sounds like a broken record, but it seems to be the same play. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's Nashua ball. Looks like there's going to be a timeout called by Bedford. So with exactly 2 minutes left to go in the second quarter, Bedford leads by 8, 24-16. Be back in a second. All right, we're back for the start, the remainder of the second quarter with 2 minutes left. Nashua's taking the ball under the basket. Hopefully Bedford will do a better job of boxing out and getting some rebounds. Oh, steal on the inbound pass. Taylor's going 1-on-2. He goes into the middle. Over to Ryan Brown. Ryan dribbles, drives in from the top. Once again, makes the driving layup. That's about 3 that Ryan has made this half. Bedford leads by 10 again, which is the lead at the end of the quarter. Nashua South again working the perimeter. Throw it in low. Try to throw another pass in low, but it gets stolen. And there's a scrum. Tommy O'Rourke. It is Bedford ball once again. Bulldogs will be taking it out from under their own basket. Substitution, Mokus and Gendron coming in for Bedford. And Tommy O'Rourke and Sam coming out, and there's also a Nashua substitution. Number 44, Jesus Antonio comes in for number 32, Malik Langa. Bedford takes it out from under the basket. Again, into Taylor Grande to dribble it up against the press. As he's done almost every time, breaks it. No movement in the Bedford offense right now. Pass over to Cam Meservey. It looks like it's off into the middle, but Nashua grabs the rebound and they're off. Kim tries to steal it. Layup, blocking foul. The layup was missed, but there's a blocking foul called on Taylor Grande as he tried to pick up the offensive foul again. Number 21 for Nashua South Panthers, Vincent Ortolano will be at the line for 2. Bedford only has 3 fouls this half, so they've played well without fouling, but they've also given up a lot of offensive rebounds. Orlando misses the free throw. Now he'll take his second. Minute 2 to go in the quarter. Bedford up 10. Make that 9. Mokus inbounds to Taylor Grande. 2 guys trying to press him. He gets around it, and he's trying to break it through the middle, and he's fouled, and he'll be going to the line for 1-on-1. As Xavier Williams picks up the foul for the Panthers, and Taylor Grande will be going to the line for 2. Justin Hayes is coming in for Cam Meservey. Cam will be sitting out for the first time, I think, this game. Student body making some noise over there for the Bulldogs. Don't hear that too often these days. Taylor makes the first to make the lead 10 again. Tommy O'Rourke will be coming in for Taylor if he makes the second. Jay Capistran will also be coming in. Taylor makes the second after it goes around the basket a couple of times. So it's an 11-point lead with 57 seconds left to go in the half. Here come the Panthers. Number 10 is now at the point, Cameron Joyle. Again, South working the perimeter, trying to find something underneath, but for the most part keeping the ball out front until they do that. Double pass underneath. It looked like he traveled, and that is what Pat McCarthy calls against the South Panthers. Bedford inbounds. Tommy O'Rourke out. Ryan Brown in. George Mokas out. Taylor Grande in with 41 seconds left to go. Press looks much more active for the South Panthers. And Bedford's trying to run a 1-4 inbounds pass. But once again into Taylor Grande, and he'll try to dribble it up as he's done all quarter. All half, actually, against the token pressure. Ryan Brown on the wing. Over to Jake Capistran. Jake looking for somebody cutting through the middle. Can't find anybody. Backs it out. Over to Colby Gendron. Puts it up and gets the favorable bounce for the three. Extends the lead to 14 points. With a little under 16 seconds to go in the quarter. South working the perimeter once again. Taylor Grande almost gets a steal. Over to the wing. Wild shot by South. Doesn't go in. Justin Hayes with 2 seconds. One. It's up, but it is not good. So the quarter and the half ends with the Bulldogs leading the South Panthers 31-17. Very impressive by Bedford that half. And once again, they hold the lead by 14. The second quarter has been sponsored by the New Hampshire Tomahawks, the local lacrosse team. That's it for the half. We'll be back for the second half in a couple of minutes. Thanks. Here we are at the halftime while there's a couple of teams playing on the court. Younger crowd. We're in the crowd. Younger kids playing on the field. We're in the crowd, and we're going to interview Chris Cameron, see what his thoughts are about the first half. Chris, what do you think is that going on here?
Well, Nashua South looks like they want to run. I mean, they come down, they make one pass against the zone, and they're launching threes. They're committing a lot of turnovers. They look like they want to press. Bedford's getting whatever. I think they could be a little more patient on their shots. I think Cam Zervi's gotten a lot. He's hit some threes. I think that they're quick to shoot, but if they play with the same intensity that they played in the first half, you know, I was just saying to Don, I think they win this game by 20 points. They seem like clearly the better team. Before the game, I was talking to Coach Nate at South, and he said this is the scariest 1-7 team he's ever faced. So he knew coming in that record was very deceiving, and this is the way Bedford's been all year. Other than the Trinity game, they've been in every game all year.
All right, Chris, thank you for your words, and this halftime report has been sponsored by the New Hampshire Tomahawks.
He's live over there. I know. Have fun.
All right, here we are at the start of the third quarter of the game between the Nashua South Panthers and the Bedford Bulldogs, and Bedford leads by 14 points, 31-17. Bedford looks like it's still in its 2-3 zone. Same starting five at the start of the game. And South looks like it doesn't have the same starting five as Yordi Tavares, who has, he is in there, so maybe the same starting five that South started with. I'm mistaken. Again, working the perimeter. Back out to the top for Yordi. Works it to the wing. Back to the middle. Back to the wing, but they're not looking inside. Takes the three. Makes the three. A little more patience that time by Nashua. Ryan Brown in the middle. Over to Sam. Sam for the layup. Good way to break the press. Attack it and get the points early so they can't get back in their defense. Yordi drives. Misses the layup over Sam, which is a tough shot. South still has the ball in the corner. Up to Yordi on the wing. To Trevor Knight in the middle. Back around to the wing. To Yordi up top, over to the wing. Number 21 is Vincent Ortolando. Over to the middle. Misses. Sam loses the rebound to Yordi. Bedford again, yet no rebounded. You already traveled down on the baseline, and it's Bedford ball. Bedford's got to do a better job of rebounding the basketball again. Same way they were doing in the first half, starts the second half. Ryan Brown almost gets caught going out of bounds, but saves himself and gets back to Jake Capistrand, who brings it over the 10-second line. Makes a little spinning move over to Taylor Grande. Way out deep. Looks like South is now in a man-to-man defense. I'm not even sure of that. Yeah, I think they are in a man-to-man. Ryan Brown goes around. Nice baseline move. And Ryan again, with the wizardry of the basketball down low, makes the running layup. Nashua working the perimeter once again. Oh, a little lob pass could have been stolen, but Bedford didn't go for it. Working the perimeter, looking low, but throwing it up top. Around the perimeter to Yordi. Drives, cutting man Sam with a big block in the middle. Taylor to Cam, who loses it, and Cam fouls Trevor Knight from behind. 2-on-1 break that the Bulldogs had, but they didn't execute it well and lost the ball, and Cam committed a foul 60 feet from the basket. South working the ball again against the 2-3 zone. Into the middle, to the wing. 33 up and in, halfway down, but comes back out. Cam Meservey with the rebound, and he'll bring it across the 10-second line over to Ryan Brown. Jake Capistrand over to the wing, Taylor Grande. Over to Ryan Brown, who almost loses it, and there's a foul being called on, I think it's on Bedford. Ryan Brown picks up the foul. And that is Ryan's second foul. South Panthers take over the ball, inbound it, and bring it over half court. Into the middle, Trevor Knight makes the move, loses it. Tough to get around Sam. Sam over to Taylor Grande, and here comes the break again. Taylor loses control, and it goes back down the other way to the South Panthers. Both teams a little out of sync right now and not getting any points scored. It's a 15-point lead for the Bulldogs as we go into the 5-minute mark in the third quarter. Again, South working in the perimeter till they can find something in the middle. Oh, tries to go baseline. Ryan Brown picks up his third foul. And Colby Gendry will be coming in probably for, as will Tommy O'Rourke, as Ryan Brown and Jake Capistrand come out. South works the old Bedford play into the corner, but the shot is off the back of the rim. And Colby Gendry gets the rebound and is fouled by number 33, Michael Osgood for South. South applying pressure. Looks more like it's a man-to-man press, but a lot more active than it had been most of the first half. Bedford clears it, and Taylor Grande will bring it over half court, start the offense. Dribbles into the corner and dribbles it back out. Looking for some people to move around. Bedford running some picks down low and coming off the screens. Cam going down the wing. Paul gets thrown out to Taylor Grande. Taylor goes down, throws it to Colby Gendry on the wing, up and misses. Rebound by Tommy O'Rourke, but he also misses the putback. Here comes Yordi down the middle, gets through, gets fouled by Colby Gendry. And Yordi Tavares will be shooting 2 shots. Tavares, sorry. Not very familiar with these Nashua Panthers. Trying to learn them on the fly. The student body yelling air ball as the shot goes up, but Yordi keeps that out and makes the shot. Yordi takes and makes the second, cut the lead down to 13. Jake Capistrand comes in for Sam. Inbound pass to Ryan Brown, and Ryan with his 3 fouls dribbling it up over half court. Gets it over, makes a spinning move, lefty layup. Oh, had the lane but didn't take it. Colby Gendry gets fouled as he goes up. Ryan Brown had the shot but didn't take it, which he had been taking the whole first half. And I think that's what Coach Fitzpatrick is talking to him about. He was at the rim, he should have just put it up. With the student body quiet, just shaking their fingers. Colby Gendron at the line. Makes it. Same treatment from the fans. Same result from Colby. Bulldogs fall back into their 2-3 zone, but Nashua gets it over quick and tries to run a baseline backdoor play, but Taylor Grande steals it. Now he leads the break. Ooh, gets pushed, but no foul is called. Ball almost gets stolen. Ryan Brown takes it to the hole and gets a ready layup. Lead balloons up to 17. It's a backcourt call against the Panthers. The Panthers are really out of sync right now. And Nate Mazzaroli is trying to call a timeout, but nobody's seeing him. And he finally gets the call from the referees. 17-point lead by the Bulldogs with 3:29 to go in the third quarter. This third quarter is being sponsored by the Bedford Ambulatory Surgical Center. All right, after the Nashua Panther timeout, Bedford will be inbounding the ball at half court. Again, pressured by the Bulldogs, by the Panthers. But as we've done all game, Taylor Grande brings it up over half court to start the offense. Goes one way, goes to the other, around the back. Still control the ball, trying to find an opening. Drives to the basket. Oh, loses the control, gets it back, and is not sure what the call was. It might have just been a travel or a carry. I'm not sure, but the ball goes the other way to South. Coach Fitzpatrick, I don't think, is happy with that result, and maybe substituting in Justin Hayes for Taylor Grande. Yordi takes a shot from the corner, but misses, but gets his own rebound. Drives into the middle and lays it up, and again misses the layup. And the ball goes to Jay Capistrand, who brings it down the middle and throws it over to Taylor Grande. He gets to the half-court line, but doesn't go over and lets everybody set up as he brings the ball across. Ball down low to Ryan Brown, goes to the left hand, up and, oh, misses the layup on a spinning move. Ball goes, oh, again another layup after a nice pass from Jake. Shot by Nashua goes around the rim and in by Trevor Knight. That was a nice pass by Jake Capistrand down low to Ryan Brown on the other end, but he barely missed the layup, the second layup on the same effort, offensive effort on that time down the court. Bedford slowing it down a bit, trying to get something work, running a little bit of a two-man weave. Jake spins over to Tommy O'Rourke, over to Gendron, to Capistrand, to Ryan Brown, cutting the middle for the layup. Ryan loves that move, whether it's to the left or to the right. He's very good at it and has been very productive. Ryan had 27 last game, and he's well on his way to a good productive game again, and it looks like Yordi is being called for a carry, and he loses the ball. The lead is 17 points for the Bedford Bulldogs with 1:52 to go in the third quarter. South looks very frustrated. The ball goes into Justin Hayes. As I had speculated, Justin is in for Taylor Grande, bringing down the ball. Over half court, starting the offense. Over to Sam Stanton. Sam to Ryan Brown, looking for somebody trying to cut back door. Or he goes himself, falls, but keeps his dribble, keeps it going again. And there's a timeout called by Coach Fitzpatrick. That is the second timeout called by the Bulldogs, and they'll have 3 left for the game. The Panthers also have 3 for the remainder of the game. So with 1:32 to go, 17-point lead. We'll be back in a minute after the timeout. Bedford inbounding in the front court. Jake inbounds to little stuck Sam Stanton, who's now dribbling. Justin Hayes working. The ball is Sam Stanton. Over to Jake again. Over to Justin. Justin hits Cam on the cut. Nice play. In and around. Doesn't go in. Oh, it's 2 Bedford guys battling for it. They lost it. Cam and Mokus trying to pin him. And they get the ball out of bounds off of Nashua to Bedford. Good hustle by both Cam and George to trap him right after Nashua Panther went over half court and he couldn't go back to keep control of the ball. Inbound by Bedford to Mokus. Mokus dribbles over to Taylor Grande. Taylor dribbling, looking for some motion. Double pick, but no pass over to Jake. He's looking for a three-pointer from the top of the key. Bedford running the motion offense over to Jake Capistry, and Jake dribbles, looking to go around. Looking down low over to Taylor, back to Jake with the left hand. Layup goes in lefty, and Jake will be going to the line for a three-point shot. Nice movement of the ball by the Bedford Bulldogs, and a nice pass from Taylor Grande on that layup. Taylor now coming out of the game with 42 seconds left. Give him a break before the fourth quarter. Bedford leading by 19, and if Jake can make the free throw after that little fiddle and diddle move, it'll make the lead 20 points, which will be the biggest lead. I think 19 is actually the biggest lead for Bedford. And Jake in and out. Mokas with the rebound. Lays it up, but gets it blocked, goes up, gets it again. Trying to go up, puts it up, misses again. And Nashua comes down the other end. Oh, there's a foul called as Yordi tries to go up, and I think the foul is against George Mokas for blocking. 2 shots for Yordi Tavares. And the lead's at 19 with 29 seconds left to go. Free throw's good. Sam Stanton and George Mokas come out, and Ryan Brown and Colby Gendron come in for the Bulldogs. That one's in and out. Bedford trying to bring the ball over. Justin Hayes has it. Looks like there's a 2-man trap going on. He gets it over to Ryan Brown. Ryan dribbling, goes down the middle and is fouled. And Pat McCarthy is calling it a 2-shot foul. So Ryan Brown will be going to the line for 2. The foul was on number 13, Ben Segel, for the Panthers. And Ryan Brown makes the first of 2 free throws. Cam Missouri coming out for the last 14 seconds. Tommy O'Rourke coming in. Give Cam a little rest before he comes out for the fourth quarter. Ryan makes the second, and we get to the 20-point lead. Nashua bringing it up. Yordi once again controlling the ball over half court. And it looks like they're going to wait for the last shot with 6 seconds to go. Yordi dribbles, takes a 3. Short air ball. Jake throws it to half court, but nobody can run it down before the quarter expires. And at the end of 3 quarters, the Bulldogs lead by 20 points, 45-25. And as I said earlier, the third quarter was sponsored by Basque. Be back for the fourth quarter in a minute. All right, here we start the fourth quarter. Taylor Grande bring it over half court. Over to Ryan Brown. Ryan trapped over to Cam Missouri going down the middle, lays it up and in for the layup. 22-point lead. Nashua trying to hustle, trying to get back in this game very quickly. Yordi takes the shot, misses, but he'll be going to the line for 2 as he was hit by Taylor Grande in the act of shooting, so he'll get 2 free throws. That's Taylor's second foul. Home crowd making some noise while the Panthers are taking some free throws, but Yordi hits it anyways. Yordi hits the second one, cuts the lead to 18. Cuts the lead to 20. Can't do my math. Bedford quickly breaks the press. But here they go, the trap. Taylor's trap, but they get the ball down low to Sam. Sam backdoors it over to Ryan Brown and puts it up and in off the backboard. Great play by the Bulldogs. Yordi comes down the middle. Taylor almost steals it. Yordi backs out over to the wing. Goes to the middle, back to the wing. Shot is put up and made. number 10. Cam Joyle makes a 3. Ryan Brown on the break against the press makes another layup, and the teams are exchanging baskets. Coach Fitzpatrick asking for a little bit more defense from his team, but Tavares puts it up and in before the defense can set up and stop that penetration. Taylor Grande breaks the press by himself over to Cam Meserve in the corner. Cam makes it from the corner. 3-pointer. Tavares comes back down, but now they've pinned him, so he can't take the shot. The ball goes in the corner. Nothing's happening. Nobody's in the middle from, Yordi penetrates by himself, takes a step, feeds it over to Joyle, and he makes the layup. There's a deep pass that Sam Stanton picks up over to Ryan Brown for another layup. That's 3 layups that Ryan Brown has gotten this quarter, and they're just exchanging baskets, but that's not what Nashua needs to get back in this game. They're going to have to play some defense. There's a deep 3 by number 21 who misses. Sam Stanton grabs the rebound over to Taylor Grande. Bedford looking very good and trying to pick up its 2nd win of the season. Jay Capistrian hits the 3-pointer, and Nashua's coach calls a timeout as he's trailing by 25 points with 6 minutes and 7 seconds. Bedford doing everything it can to try to garner its 2nd win here. They look as good in this half as they did in the first half against Albert, which is the only win to date that the Bedford Bulldogs have. Bedford can keep this up. I think Coach Fitzpatrick will be happy getting his 2nd win as they've hustled, and except for getting beat on the boards for most of the first half and a little bit of the start of the second half, Bedford has played very well today. We'll be back right after the timeout. Nashua will be inbounding the ball as we get back into action in the 4th quarter. Yordi trying to drive. He's trying to do it all by himself, but he gets stuck. Almost stolen. Another drive down the middle. No rebound. Nice rebound by Jake Capistrian. Nice pass to the middle by Ryan Brown, and Sam Stanton gets fouled as he tries to lay it up and in. Actually, I think he was trying to dunk that, but he got fouled from behind by number 33 from the Panthers. Sam Stanton will be at the free throw line for 2 shots. Sam Stanton makes the first. It looks like George Mokas will be coming in for Sam Stanton if the 2nd shot is made. Sam makes it, so the substitution happens. Bedford stays in its 2-3 defense that they've been in all day, and obviously it's been working as they have a 27-point lead. Yordi makes another bucket. There goes the break. Ryan Brown gets it hit from behind, and it's Bedford ball as they take it out underneath the basket they're trying to score at. Looks like Bedford's running some kind of box play. Mokas in, nice pass to Taylor, but Taylor misses the layup. Ryan Brown gets the shot, but it gets blocked. The Nashua player, Trevor Knight, hits it off of Ryan Brown, but it hits off Trevor Knight before it hits out of bounds, so therefore it stays Bedford's ball. Oh, it looks like there's a holding foul being called on South, number 21, Vincent Ortolano. And that is Nashua's 6th foul, so Bedford will be inbounding. Mokas puts it up and in on the inbound pass. Nice pass by Taylor Grande. Yordi again trying to do it all by himself. Over to the wing. Back to Yordi in the corner. Mokas on him. Puts it up, misses it. Ryan Brown gets beat out for the rebound, but The layup is missed, and the rebound's grabbed by Mokas over to Taylor Grande. And he's off and running. Nice pass to Cam Meservey, who puts it up and in. Bedford is rolling. They're up by 29, and the game is probably, for all intents and purposes, over. But yeah, it looks like coach of Nashua is emptying his bench, putting in 2 or 3 new players, maybe even 4 new players, as he's throwing in the towel, it looks like, on this game, as he's down by 29 with a little under 5 minutes left to play. Nashua South was 5-2 before this game, but it doesn't look like they'll be picking up their 6th win tonight. But Bedford does look like it's going to pick up its 2nd win of the year, and maybe this will get them on a roll, and people around the state will stop calling us the best one-end, whatever number of losses team we've been for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Bedford's just had some tough luck losing 5 games by 4 points or less, 6 games by 4 points or less, including 3 of the 4 in overtime, of the 4 games they've played in overtime. Ryan Brown with the rebound, trying to bring it over half court. Throws it to George Mokas, who turns and goes by his man to get out of the trap. Gives it over to Justin Hayes, who takes it over to Ryan Brown, who goes down the middle and lays it up. Ryan loves that drive to the base, to the basket, and laying it up off the backboard or up over the rim. Yordi Alvarez with a 3 misses. He's the only one that stayed in. The other 4 were substituted for by South. And an offensive foul is fouled, and a technical is called as Yordi throws the ball away. Coach now wants to talk to his player and calm him down. And he's probably going to be substituted for and taken out of the game. Cam Meservey will be taking the free throws for Bedford on the technical foul. And Yordi is out of the game. And the fan favorite is going to enter the game for Bedford, as Andrew Gilson, number 23, will be coming in. I think coach was trying to put in Andrew to take the free throws, but you have to use somebody on the court to take the technical foul. I think that's what's going to be shot first. No, actually, maybe it's the one-on-one. Yeah, it is the one-on-one they're going to have first, and Justin Hayes will be taking those. Justin Hayes at the free throw line, I think, for the one-on-one. And he misses the first. Now the technical. And as I suspected, Andrew Gilson will be taking the 2 technical fouls shots for the Bulldogs. And the crowd goes nuts, as you can hear, as does the bench. Andrew makes the first. You can hear the crowd singing it up for Andrew Gilson as he takes the 2nd free throw on the technical, and Andrew doesn't get the bounce on that one. Bedford will be inbounding with a 32-point lead, 36 points for Nashua South, 68 for the Bulldogs with 4:26 to go in the game. Bedford running the same offense. Gilson in the wing, passes it over to number 4, was Michael Kerman, who was the first time in the game tonight for the Bulldogs. Michael takes the shot from the wing, misses. Andrew tries for the rebound but doesn't get it. And here comes South with all reserves in. Number 13 takes a long 3 off the back of the rim, rebounded by number 12 for Bedford, who's Josh Kohler. So Josh and Mike are 2 new players in for Bedford for the first time tonight. Ryan Brown throws it over to Mike, who misses the shot from the baseline. Nashua brings it down the other way with a little over 3.5 minutes to play. Number 13 takes another 3, misses again. But South gets the rebound up to the top. Number 23 takes a deep 3 and makes it. And that is Dan Frechette. Ball inbounded to Justin Hayes. He dribbles it up over the 10-point line, and he's fouled as he goes over. Or as Johnny Most might say, as he went over the line. He's going to be shooting one-on-one, Justin Hayes is. And Matt Glassman now comes in, and that makes his first entry into the game for the Bulldogs And number 44 comes in for the Panthers. The lead is 29 for Bedford. Justin a little short on the free throw. Ball will be going down the other way for South. South gets it over midcourt, dribbling in, back out to the wing, over to the other wing. Number 11 dribbles over, throws to the top of the key, goes back to 11 on the wing, deep three from the wing, air ball, and it's rebounded by Bedford. There goes Bedford down the other side. Josh goes in, layup from the left-hand side, and he's a lefty, and he puts it up and in. It's Josh Kohler. Number 23 is left open at the top and makes a bucket for the Panthers. Just playing out the string here as Bedford will pick up its second win of the season and go to 2-7, and maybe this will get them on a roll. Andrew Gilson lost control of the ball, gives it back to Nashua going down, and I think Josh Hayes is going to be called for a blocking foul. No, actually the foul is on Andrew Gilson. I'm not sure what that was for. But Andrew gets called for the foul, and there'll be 2 shots for number 11 for Nashua South, Kevin Janeo, who misses the free throw. Coming in for Bedford is number 25, Gardner Gendron, and I think that's his first appearance of the game. Free throws made by South. And it's a 28-point lead. Matt Glassman will bring the ball up for the Bulldogs. Gets it over the 10-second line, makes a soft pass, but it gets over to Gendron. Now passes it over to number 4. Goes down to Josh Kohler, who now passes it over to Glassman, who is fouled by number 13. And Matt will be going to the free throw line for 2 shots as the Panthers are now over the 10 foul limit, so that'll give 2 shots to Matt Glassman. Matt makes the first. Matt blows out his hands as he gets ready to take the second and dribbles a couple of times, spins it back into his hands and puts it up and in. 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes to go in the game, and it's back to a 30-point lead. Ball goes over down the corner. The 23 dribbles out a little bit, makes it pass down to 24, who looked like the shot was blocked cleanly, but the foul is being called on Gardner Gendron. And the Panthers will be at the free throw line for 2 shots. First free throw is made by the Panthers. Crowd can't wait for the game to be over and celebrate the second win of the season for the Bulldogs. Matt Glassman dribbling it up. Has a very good handle of the ball, as you can see. Ball over to the wing, up to the top to Gilson, to Josh Homer, back to Matt Glassman. Matt goes around his man, loses it under the basket, and the ball goes over to South. South brings it up. Over to the wing. Trying to work it underneath. Can't get open. Still trying to work it. Foul's called on Gardner Gendron. Gardner was playing tough defense there. Didn't look like a foul, but South man fell down, and I think he may have drawn the foul on the play. A little over a minute to go. And the Bulldogs will be celebrating their second win of the season and hopefully on to many more, try to get back into the thick of things in the Division I race. Right now, Central is the only undefeated team left in Division I, and I think Merrimack and Girton are the 2 teams that only have 1 loss. And then there's, actually I think there's a 3rd team with 1 loss. Not sure who that is. Oh, Trinity's the 3rd team. And then there are 2 or 3 teams with 2 losses, including the South team that will now be picking up its 3rd loss of the season. South gets the rebound off the free throw miss, working it around the perimeter. Really just playing out the clock. 11 fiddles and diddles and puts it up off the backboard, but doesn't make the shot. Matt Glasserman over to Mike Kernan, who puts it up back to Matt from the top for a 3 off the side of the rim. Matt gets the rebound, puts it up. Mike Kernan for the bucket. He's playing out the string here. South working, trying to get a shot off, but this was decided long ago as Bedford came out, played a tough defense, and after they got that rebounding problem taken care of in the first half, have been dominant in the second half. And it looked like a good basket, but Josh is being called for a travel on the drive to the basket. And with 26 seconds left to go in the game, Nashua's taking it out. Number 11 working against Mike Kernan, brings it out. Oh, nice pass underneath, but number 24 loses the handle, but gets it back and puts the layup in. Matt Glassman bringing it up, 8 seconds to go. This should be the game. I assume Bedford will just hold the ball, let the clock expire, and take the victory, and have a good weekend after the victory. So that's the end of the game. Bedford wins by 29, 74-45 over the Nashua South Panthers. And Bedford earns its second win of the season and looks to add to that next week. That's the end of the game. This fourth quarter was sponsored by Apple Therapy. Great win by Bedford, and this production was put on by CastleHill Media Sports Productions. Hope to see you again next week. Have a good weekend.